Yo, what's up everybody? My name is Bonk. Today we're going to take a look at just how the new Chaos mode works in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. This endgame has to be one of the best I've ever seen in any Borderlands game, and I hope after you understand it a little more, you will have a crap ton of fun with it as well. To start, what exactly are Chaos Dungeons? Well, before I say that, I have to put a spoiler warning, because the endgame will spoil some of the end of story content. Are you guys gone? Okay. Now, what are they? Well, really hope you're gone by now. After you defeat the Dragon Lord in the story, he will appear in Queen Buttstalion's castle, where he now gives you access to the Chaos Dungeon. The castle is technically called the Chaos Chamber. There are 4 types of Chaos Dungeons. The Featured Run, which is a Gearbox hand-picked run with set bosses and map, and it has a leaderboard that you can compete for a spot in with time. The next mode is a normal run. It will be a short run with randomized maps and bosses. The third run is called an extended run. It's basically just a longer version of the first run, and later on you will get why that might be a good thing to do if you want. The final type of run is a Chaos Trial, which is going to be how you're going to be able to up your Chaos mode rank from 1 all the way up to 20. I will explain Chaos mode more in depth if you want to know later in the video and how it has changed from BL3. Okay, so now you've picked your run. I'll recommend you do a normal run for your first, but in the footage, I'm going to be doing a Chaos Trial run. You'll be entering a portal into a random encounter to start, where you'll have one challenge on the right side of your screen. The challenge will reward you more crystals at the end of the room if completed. There's a bunch of different types of challenges, all extremely easy, like defending something, destroying something, picking stuff up and giving it to like a floating fire monster, standing in a certain area to kill stuff. It's all very simple things. Crystals that you get extra for if you do the challenge. Crystals are the currency that you get in these dungeons to target farm weapons at the end, so more crystals is always better. There will also be other things around the map. These are things such as quartz crystals, which is a small crystal that spawns a badass enemy if broken, which will drop you even more crystals and obviously some good loot, and roguelike action buffs that you can spend crystals for to get like things like health regen and extra life, gun ammo maximum, stuff like that, speed. Although if you want to, you can do it because it's very fun. I don't recommend them because crystals are very important and you need to spend them to get those buffs. Now that you've hopefully killed all of the enemies, completed the sub-objective, and found the crystal, you will get to the dragon map. He will give you a choice of 2 buffs or nerfs that are basically the mayhem modifiers from BL3. Yeah, I know, they suck, they're back, it's whatever. It's not that bad in this game because you are rewarded. The harder the modifier, the more of a crystal bonus you will get, up to 120% I believe for the hardest, which is very useful because that is more guns. After you choose, there will be 2 portals that open up with a possible, or a 2 of a possible 4 symbols. The first symbol is a gold chest. This will be a room that is normal and at the end you will just get crystals, no modifier or skill buff. The second type portal is a purple chest. This will either be like the gold chest room, or if you have done enough rooms, tell you right to the room before the boss. This is just what I believe from what I've experienced and seen on the internet though. I'm not 100% on this, it is still the first few weeks of the game. The third and fourth types are much more fun in my opinion. The third is the Buttstallion portal. This means at the end of the room, you will be given extra temporary skill points in your tree. Like it's a very good buff, and you can get in any spot, like even the 1 out of 1 stuff in your skill tree, you can get a bonus in that and have 2 out of 1. These are very good. These temporary skill points into your tree will last until the run is over. Doing this multiple times in one run makes you feel like a god. Or the final type of portal is the best for a crystal run, but by far the hardest if you choose every time. The portal is the Dragon Lord portal. This means at the end of the room you will have to choose another modifier, making your run harder but making the crystals much more abundant. The final thing you need to know about the portals is the ability to make them orange or red. I'm colorblind. They're basically turned into hard mode. You can do this to any portal and it will make the next room more rewarding, but also have more badass enemies and other enemies of the sort. So if you're going for full blast max crystal run, choose Dragon Master portals and upgrade them to hard mode. When you beat the boss of your run, you will enter a treasure room with little stone rabbits lining the walls. Each rabbit represents an item or gun type. You feed the gun, by the way, will be like floating above. It's not hard to figure out which one's what. You feed the crystals you've gained throughout your run up underneath your mini map on the screen. You can see how many you have. The higher the crystals fed, up to 100 maximum to each bunny. Like each time you feed them, you can feed the same bunny over and over. It increases your loot chance. So like if you feed 500 to 500, it's your best chance for a legendary. You need to spend all your crystals. Even if you can't do a 500, just put them in anyway because they don't carry over. Okay, now we get to the Chaos mode explanation. It's slightly different and much better in this game than BL3 in my opinion. Items no longer have drastic stat changes and are not labeled Mayhem 1 through 10, and Mayhem instead just makes enemies slightly harder, but also gives more crystals, legendaries, and gold. And most importantly, the higher the chaos level, the higher the chance for chaotic and voltaic gear. Instead of having Mayhem labeled weapons that will have bonuses depending on how high up in Mayhem they are, like a Mayhem 10 in this game will have the same stats on a normal gun that the Mayhem 1 did, unless it's chaotic or voltaic. Chaotic or voltaic gear is just normal gear with better stats, giving you the edge, and voltaic only becomes available when you hit the max Mayhem at level 20 Mayhem and is extremely powerful. Also in the Chaos Chamber, by the way, there is a reroll machine like near the Dragon Lord for enchantments. Enchantments aren't specifically a part of Chaos Dungeons, but I figured I would mention them here at the end because if you are doing those really hard runs with Dragon Lords and hard rooms, you're going to need very good enchantments, so make sure you're getting some enchantments that will help your gear and your build. Well, that's it, gents. Hope you have a blast in the new game and in the new amazingly designed endgame.
Is a dinosaur from